What's up, guys? I'm Chad Barnes, and welcome to the channel. Here, it's all about real car talk, from simple fixes to smart driving tips and keeping your ride in top shape. If that sounds good to you, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, and make sure you watch all the way through. There's a lot of good stuff coming. Let's get to it.
25 for answers. We went to the Scientific and Technical Center, Celsius Prof, in Bronicy near Moscow. The equipment of the center allows simulating heat, frost, dew, salt, fog, different atmospheric pressure. But we are interested in deep freezing, so welcome to the thermal chamber, capable of changing temperatures from plus 90 to 65 OC. Volkswagen Crafter with 140 horsepower diesel engine 2.0 TDI, corresponding to -6 ecological norms, takes part in our experiment as a test subject. This modern unit is distinguished by increased efficiency. The engine is 10% more economical than its -5 counterparts. In Russia, Volkswagen commercial vehicles are among the first to convert models to engines that comply with the new norms. In the course of the experiment, we will take oil samples and give them to the independent laboratory of the International Testing Center for Fuels and Lubricants LLC, ITC. Here we have everything we need to analyze the physical and chemical state of the oil. By the composition and concentration of wear products, the content of metals and chemical elements, we will assess the degree of wear of the engine and the effectiveness of quality engine oil. Why diesel? Exactly, diesels are considered potentially problematic in terms of frost startup and operation. Firstly, the design, compression ignition engines require a stable and steady crankshaft speed to provide the pressure required to ignite the mixture at the end of the compression stroke. We eliminated this factor by using a starting starter. The second nuance is fuel. As you know, diesel fuel is divided into summer and winter fuels with different cloud point at which paraffins crystallize. This process causes the fuel to thicken, flowability and flammability to deteriorate. According to the accepted standards, winter fuel does not get cloudy up to 28 degrees, but we decided to exclude the influence of fuel on the experiment and filled Arctic solar with turbidity temperature of 50 degrees. The specificity of diesel engines also determines the frequent use of pre-start and post-start heaters, the task of which is to facilitate the start and/or accelerate the warming up of the engine and exit to operating temperature. On Volkswagen Crafter can be installed as a starting preheater and a full-fledged heater which performs the function of preheater. An autonomous heater both in the parking lot and in motion. Obviously, a full-fledged heater has a positive effect on the engine life because it provides warming up even before the start. Our Volkswagen Crafter is equipped with an after-start heater. Let's see how it affects the heating speed of auxiliary systems as well as oil aging and engine life. About oil. Naturally, the oil for the experiment we also carefully selected and stopped at a synthetic for gasoline and diesel engines of passenger cars, including those equipped with turbocharging devices for after-treatment of exhaust gases, catalytic converters, and particulate filters. LUKOIL Genesis Armatech GC5W30 with tolerances Volkswagen 50400 and 50700. The manufacturer declares thickener resistance to degradation and stable viscosity during the whole service life, low ash content, and reduction of inorganic deposits formation in particulate filters and catalytic converters. And, of course, easy starting due to the solidification temperature of 41 degrees C according to GOST 20287. Due to polyalpha olefins in its composition, the oil has excellent low temperature properties and low vaporizability. To start the engine and oil are frozen to -25 degrees. A series of starts and the most unfavorable mode, simulating city driving, are ahead. After each start we will not warm up the engine to operating temperature, but will shut it down when the oil temperature reaches 40 degrees. Then we will freeze it again until the oil temperature drops to the initial 25 degrees C. It is very important that it is the oil that goes into deep minus. In real life for such freezing it is not enough to leave the car overnight at home even at 35. In a natural environment, engine cooling is slower. Even in a crackling frost, the block keeps warm for quite a long time. How do I check if the engine is at the right temperature? Without objective monitoring, you can't get anywhere. To control all the processes taking place in the engine and the chamber, Celsius engineers install several sensors. Thermocouples stand instead of the oil dipstick, oil temperature, in the fuel tank, fuel temperature, and on the intake, air temperature. The specialist at the control panel monitors crankshaft RPM at all stages from startup to warm-up, evaluates and records starter operation, battery terminal voltage, coolant and oil temperature in real time. In the climatic chamber before each test the air temperature is set at -25 degrees, then it is held until the temperature stabilizes. In the control points and only then the start. Turn the key and the engine starts easily after 3 seconds of the starter. After starting the engine, the crankshaft speed is set at 1100 RPM and as the engine warms up, it drops to 850 RPM. It took 60 minutes for the oil to warm up to the required temperature in this mode, after which we measured the air temperature at the outlet from the central deflector of the cabin heating system. The temperature value amounted to 17.1 degrees Celsius. After several days of round-the-clock operation and dozens of cycles, we took oil and repeated the experience with the engine preheater. It is switched on automatically when the outside temperature is below +5 degrees Celsius. It is only necessary to go to the settings menu of the head multimedia and put a tick in the necessary sub-item. In the dry residue, as we were convinced during laboratory research in STC Celsius Prof, when using the engine preheater, the heating of engine oil and coolant is significantly accelerated. An hour after the start with the heater turned off, the temperature rose only to 30 to 40 degrees, while with the heater the temperature of oil and antifreeze reached almost 70 degrees, which means rapid heating of the interior and defrosting of windows. We made sure of it by repeatedly measuring the air temperature at the exit from the central deflector. It rose to 26.7 degrees Celsius. This is quite different. It is obvious that for a confident start the car should not only be in excellent technical condition. It is very important to use lubricants appropriate for climatic conditions. In our case, LUKOIL Genesis Armatech GC5W30 oil allowed the engine to start even in the most unfavorable conditions. And what is the situation with engine wear? We will answer after decoding of samples by specialists of an independent laboratory. More on the special project page, https://www. Colesa. Are you a LUKOIL Volkswagen? In conclusion, our extreme cold tests with the Volkswagen Crafter and LUKOIL oil have provided valuable insights into the performance and reliability of both the vehicle and the lubricant under harsh conditions. The Crafter demonstrated impressive resilience, maintaining functionality even in sub-zero temperatures, while LUKOIL oil showcased its ability to withstand extreme cold without compromising on performance. These tests not only highlight the importance of choosing the right oil for your vehicle but also reinforce the Volkswagen Crafter's reputation as a dependable workhorse in challenging environments. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the depths of winter testing.